Yo, what's going on? We're just now tuning in. There's a fire going on. A possible explosion. They just went to break, but I'm tuning in. I want to see what's going on. And I figured I'd live stream it just for a good measure. Why not? Now, apparently, there was a possible explosion, and they're also about to release a statement about what's going on. So stay tuned. Make a comment if you want, I'll highlight it on screen. Oh man, I can't wait to see what applause was. I was gonna stream this a while ago, but I actually had to do a lot of setup for this. So apologize for the wait. I think I should start doing this sometimes. I could start doing like live streams of stuff that's going on in the news. That'd be pretty cool. Let me turn this down a bit. But I do believe they're getting ready for a statement, so just give them a moment. And we'll find out together what's going on. I wish I had an opportunity to start streaming this earlier. I was spending about a good 30 minutes setting up the stream. There's mini games in the chat. If anybody wants to play. There we go. Okay. That's a lot of smoke. I hope nobody died. I hope everyone's okay.
One, as far as we can tell, is actually under construction, but actually one where people live. DFR is telling us the fire reportedly resulted in an explosion. Details, what happened, still unconfirmed. The incident obviously ongoing here. It is now a 3-alarm fire as firefighters you see there in the center of your screen are putting water on some of the parts of this building that are still left that haven't been blown up. One person transported to the hospital at this time. That number could easily change, DFR is warning, depending on the number of people who might have been home when this happened. And if you're familiar with this area, it's 8 to 10 blocks maybe.
Did I see what's going on?
Just a quick message to our control room. I'm still hearing programming on this IFB, if you guys can change that. We do have 2 crews headed over to the scene right now. Kevin Reese just left our studios a couple of miles away from this, heading over there along with Richard Solomon. I want to call your attention to what you're seeing right there in the center of your screen. That is some type of a drill truck. It looks to be what's left of a drill truck with that yellow tower still up in the sky there. But if you could pay attention to that, those drill trucks, some type of a drill truck, are obviously used for different things, but could be the culprit here if it perhaps may have dug down and struck some type of a gas line. But just to see that right there in the middle of all this is certainly suspicious. You can see the sidewalk is full of debris. The structure next door to it, you can see the roof of it there next to where that tower is. The firefighters on that tower there trying to spray from above. But the roof has a lot of debris. It looks like part of that structure next door is collapsed too. That truck right there at the center is likely going to be suspicious as investigators start pinpointing exactly what happened here, this Dallas apartment complex explosion. We don't yet know the name of this complex. It's at East 9th Street and North Patton Avenue, very close to Zhang and Davis, just a couple of miles south of the Dallas skyline. And we're told that people can see this from all around the downtown area. You can just look to the south and see the white smoke rising down there. Quite a few firefighters dispatched here. They're attacking this from all sides. It looks to me maybe be a 2 or 3 story apartment complex that was impacted here. What's uncertain is whether there was any work being done actually on the complex itself or outside of the complex. That drill truck looks to be just outside of the complex, but if you're familiar with this area at North Oak Cliff, it is an area that has been under intense redevelopment. A lot of new structures. The structure there on the left-hand side appears new. You can tell from the fences there. This is an area that has really been redeveloped in the past 5 to 10 years.
This fire's actually been burning for a little while now.
Still, we are uncertain right now whether anybody was home, whether there are any more victims. But you can tell the force of that explosion blew the bricks off the wall of the back of that structure. A lot of firefighters here in the front, they're trying to sift through some of this rubble, trying to get closer to see whether anybody is inside any of these apartments. This is quite striking to see this, as some firefighters are dousing the what's left here with water. You see one firefighter from Dallas Fire Rescue holding a chainsaw there right in the center of your screen, trying to cut his or her way through that as firefighters look to see if there might be any more victims in what's left of this collapsed building. It started about 45 minutes ago, and again, we're zooming in here to that truck, and this truck is obviously suspect. You can still see fire coming out from the ground right there. So, you know, having covered a lot of these, the first thing I think of when I see that truck is it might have gone into the ground and punctured a line.
It says that a lot of people came from all around to see what's going on.
How close are you now?
Not every day something like this happens.
I am just about a block away. Right now I'm standing in the intersection of 8th and Denver, which puts us just about a block north of this. As you can tell, the smoke still billowing here. A number of firefighters staged here. I can see the ladder truck in front of me. The only one that I can see here from the ground that is putting water on this right now. But they have closed multiple blocks around this incident. Neighbors standing and watching here. At least along 8th and Denver, where I am standing right now. And a number of firefighters staged, ready to go in as well. But right now, all I can tell you is that from the ground vantage point is just this one ladder truck that I can see pouring water onto this, and multiple crews in and around this scene that have just arrived to figure out exactly what this is. In terms of an ongoing danger, I can tell you we are only about a block away. They haven't moved the public back any farther than that. That's where we are right now, working to get more information, but we've only been on the scene for about 5 to 10 minutes now. We'll keep gathering and let you know what we can find out.
All right, Kevin, we'll check back with you in just a
I
moment.
thought they were supposed to release a statement, a little bit more info. That's what we got.
Right-hand side, our camera in Fair Park, we turned it towards the south, and you can see the smoke still rising there from this apartment complex in North Oak Cliff. The helicopter picture on the left-hand side of your screen here providing dramatic images of Dallas Fire Rescue firefighters climbing the ladder trucks there, trying to get an overhead shot to try to knock down some of
That's
the
so
fire.
much smoke.
It was about 45 minutes to an hour ago, though, the Dallas Fire Rescue got a call of a natural gas explosion. This has now turned into a 3-alarm fire in North Oak Cliff. It is very close to Adamson High School. School's out now. Dallas ISD just let school out yesterday. Was the last official day here, so fortunately no children are around or staff or anything like that. It's very close to the Bishop Arts District. It's very close to the Bank of America Tower there in North Oak Cliff as well. So this is an area, if you're familiar with it, a lot of redevelopment happening. This looks to be one of the older complexes there, but this gas explosion looks to have decimated this building, blowing bricks off the wall, knocking the second or perhaps third story down. And we saw a moment ago Dallas Fire Rescue firefighters trying to walk their way into the debris.
That's so crazy. Could you imagine just chilling at home and all of a sudden,
Trying to
boom?
find out if there are any more
So
victims.
scary.
We saw a moment ago from the helicopter there, at least 4 Dallas Fire Rescue ambulances waiting to see if there's anyone else who might have been injured. We don't know who the person is. At least one person was transported. Not clear if that was a resident there at this location or if that's somebody who was actually working on what appears to be a drill truck, some type of a truck out front of the complex there that we've shown several pictures of it. But the truck outside there, we'll get back to it in just a moment here when that camera zooms back in. But right on the center of that screen there, the center of that helicopter picture is a white truck with a yellow tower behind it, which you've likely seen these at construction sites. It has a drill in it, and the drills can be used for different things.
What is that?
But
Like a
that could have
couch?
penetrated the ground, penetrating this natural gas line. You see Dallas Fire Rescue
Yeah, I think it is
firefighters moving
couch.
debris out of the way. That was the sofa that one was moving. There's debris all over the sidewalk. There's debris in the street there at East 9th Street and North Patton and North Oak Cliff. And there is that drill truck, which is quite suspect here. You see firefighters putting water on what's essentially right behind the drill of the truck. So it looks like there was still fire coming out there a few moments ago. All those black sheets, that's roofing. That's roofing material. You see bricks out there. You see sofas out there. There's all kinds of things from this dramatic explosion that happened 45 minutes to an hour ago in North Oak Cliff. What the paramount concern is right now for Dallas Fire Rescuers is whether anybody else might have been home when this explosion happened. We don't know what caused the explosion, whether indeed it was construction or whether something else might have detonated this explosion. Atmos Energy, no doubt going to be close to getting on the scene over there, seeing if they can help actually turn off the natural gas if that has not already happened. But there is a big mix here of brand new construction, of old construction. This is an area that has really been redevelopment. Adamson High School there on the top left of your screen. It is that close to the high school, right in the middle of this area. And you can tell looking all around it, if you know the area too, there's a lot of businesses around here. There are a lot of residences all around here. And with people working at home today, you know for sure there's probably a number of people who have likely seen that. We're going to take a quick pause here for a moment so we can update our TV audience as well. So stand by just for a moment. We'll be back in just a moment. I'm Jason Whiteley in the WFAA newsroom. We are watching a 3-alarm fire happening in North Oak Cliff. This is apparently the result of a natural gas explosion. It happened in an apartment complex not too far from the Bishop Arts District. It happened very close to the corner of Zhang and Zhang and Davis Street, very close to Zhang and Jefferson as well. If you know the area here, this is almost next door to the Adamson High School campus. That's the campus there on the right-hand side of your screen, the football field there as well. One person
right there.
has been transported. We're not sure if there are other folks who might still be inside, other victims, but we saw just a moment ago watching this helicopter picture from HD Chopper 8. We saw Dallas Fire Rescue firefighters not only spraying water on what's left of this building, but also using chainsaws to try to go in and look for perhaps any more victims. One thing we have been watching, we'll see here in a moment when the helicopter comes back around, but there appears to be out in front of this apartment complex, there appears to be some type of a drill truck, a construction drill truck. And that's it on the left-hand side of your screen there. You see the flames still coming up. That is likely going to be suspect in this fire and explosion. Again, this happening about 12:45, Dallas Fire Rescue on the scene. You can see them down there with chainsaws, with all kinds of things, moving debris out of the way, looking for any more victims. Kevin Reese is one of our reporters who is on the scene right now. Kevin, what can you tell us?
Well, we've got a vantage point where you can see from the ground the fire behind me here. I'll get out of the way so you can see exactly what's going on. You guys may have a better vantage point, of course, from the helicopter, but you can see what is on fire in the one ladder truck. And the firefighter is
still raging.
that ladder truck working his way up there to help get that nozzle on this fire. But we are standing at the intersection of 8th and Denver. This is East 8th that I'm standing in right now. So we're looking across this empty lot toward that apartment complex.
Prayers for all these people.
Fire, at least to the east of this fire. And that is the portion that is still burning at this point. We can only see from here through the fence, across the fence to the fire truck that is parked right next to it. But that is the portion that has been burning for quite some time now, well over 30 minutes at least is what we've been told. I can show you the scene around us a little bit, John. We go over here. These are some of the firefighters that are staged, at least at this point, to get ready to fight this. But right now, they are waiting as that one ladder truck is pouring water on top of it. We have not had any official confirmation from the fire department yet here on scene exactly what this is and what is burning. But John, if you want to come back over again, we can look at the fire and show people where this is actually burning. If you want to take a look, I'll get out of the way. Again, you're looking to the south. We are looking across. Good. Well, you want to come through. You're good. You're looking across to East 8th Street, looking to the south, and that is now they've added at least another hose from the ground pouring on that, in addition to the ladder truck, which is now enveloped in the smoke up there. Again, we cannot tell you from reports here exactly what is burning. This came to us as reports of an explosion of some kind, but as you can see, this is going to be quite the firefight, and multiple fire crews standing by to move in at some point if they can get it more under control with the limited hoses and water that they're putting on it right now. We'll keep talking to people here, see if we can get witnesses to tell us what exactly they saw and what they heard when this explosion and this fire started about a half hour ago now. Jason.
All right, Kevin, stand by there for us. I just want to update folks, if you're tuning into us right now, more than 100 Dallas firefighters on the scene of a building explosion, an apartment complex explosion in North Oak Cliff, not too far from the Bishop Arts District, not too far from the Bank of America Tower there in North Oak Cliff as well. One of our other reporters on the scene, Richard Solomon, telling us that he was talking to a woman who was there nearby when it happened, and there was some type of construction work going on outside. Unclear if it was construction work or exactly what it was, but work was underway, she's telling Richard Solomon, when the explosion did happen. If you're anywhere near Dallas, you can likely see this smoke for miles. It's just a couple of miles south of downtown Dallas, south of the skyline here. It is now a 3-alarm fire, been going for a little more than an hour. And the big concern right now at 2 o'clock in the afternoon is whether anyone else was inside this building. Dallas Fire Rescue tells us that it transported one person to the hospital. Not clear on who that might be or where that person might have been when this explosion happened. But Dallas Fire Rescue has several tall ladder trucks. I don't know the technical name for them, but they're spraying this from several ways all around, trying to get in there and put this fire out, at least knock it out until the actual natural gas can be extinguished. Richard Solomon is actually with us right now. Richard, you're on the other side of this. You're already talking to people. What are they telling you?
Yeah, Jason, I'm probably a block away from where all this is happening right now. I want my photographer, John Gosh, to push in so you can see. I mean, these flames are humongous. Driving up here, we could see them from miles away. I can tell you, we're on the side near W.H. Adamson High School. Again, no one was in school at the time. I believe Dallas ISD was out of school. But, I mean, I spoke with a woman who lives in the apartment complex just right next door. She wasn't home, thankfully, but, I mean, you can see just the response out here. If you pan over to the right, there are all these first responders. It seems like some are still waiting back behind. I know crews are battling the fire as we speak. Even up near the flames, Goss, if you could pan back over here, we can see fire crews spraying the flames with water, it looks like. So this is, I mean, a lot is going on here. They have so much of this area blocked off. I mean, it took us such a long time getting over here. For folks who are familiar with this area, this is not too far from Bishop Arts. This happened around 2:47 in the afternoon, according to fire. Now, we're still working to learn more if God forbid, if anyone else is still inside, but we do know, like you said, Jason, one person was taken to the hospital. Now, I want to speak with a young lady who lives not too far from here. She actually lives in the apartment complex that is behind us. Now, here she is with us right now. And give me your first name for us.
I'm Janita.
Janita, and
yes.
Walk us through just where you were at when this happened.
So when this happened, I was actually driving. I was coming from the gym, and then the gym is on Fort Worth in Westmoreland, so you could see the smoke coming from, like, when it happened, coming from all the way over there.
That far.
Yes. So as I was getting closer, you could see it like more and more and more, and they wouldn't let me over here. And I'm telling them, like, the police, I'm trying to get home, and they're like, well, we don't know which building it is that's, you know, on fire. So I get over here, like, I had to park on the side and I had to walk over here, and I see it's right next to my apartment. So this is actually, like, really scary. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So
And
I just hope nobody is hurt, or, you know, the least amount of people if possible. I don't know.
And you were telling me earlier you saw Atmos crews working out here.
Yes, electric company, they had been working over here. They actually had been coming over here for at least maybe, I saw them last week for sure. So.
And so you live where exactly?
It's called East 9th, 417. So right where the fire truck is, that building right next to it. It's white and it's a little blue. You can see it.
I mean, what's going through your mind just standing here looking at this?
I'm actually kind of scared. Like, I'm scared to go over there. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be like. I have no idea, but I'm just hopeful. I'm praying for everyone, and I just hope I can get home soon, and that's it.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem. Thank you.
So obviously, folks, a lot of people are just out here waiting, trying to figure out what is going on, what exactly happened, what led to the explosion. We do know that fire crews are battling flames. I mean, just with the amount of this smoke, probably where some of you are watching at far away, you can see this smoke. I know she just shared she saw it on the way back from Fort Worth. So we know they are fighting this fire. We're going to keep giving you updated information when we can, as soon as we can. We'll stay out here on this scene, but we'll check in. I think there is actually an official updating, so we're going to try to get that information, but I'm going to send it back to you guys in the meantime.
Richard, can you walk over there to where they're updating you guys? Can you just walk over there while we're live on the air here?
Yeah.
Look, if we can get an update from them while we're doing this, I'll make sure our viewers understand what's happening here.
Okay.
This is a 3-alarm fire that's happening in North Oak Cliff, and the biggest concern right now is whether there might still be any victims inside what's left of this apartment complex. To remind our viewers what we're talking about, it's East 9th and North Patton. That is North Oak Cliff, not too far from the Bishop Arts District, very close to the Bank of America Tower there as well. If you know the area, you know there is a lot of redevelopment happening in the area. This looks like an older building still, though it is decimated. Richard, are you with them yet?
Can you update me real fast if you have a quick second? Okay, so you tell him.
So no, we're just with the school district, and we're making sure the school's available for But all we know is families are displaced. They're trying to figure out, obviously, fire department, Dallas Fire Rescue is trying to put out the fire. Maybe it's got gas feeding it, not too sure, so they're trying to combat that, and we're just trying to do our part to help the families that may be affected.
Do you know if anyone is trapped inside during this time? Or?
No, sir, nothing like that. Nothing that I know. DFR is running their operation, and when they get ready, they will provide you all the information.
You guys are with Dallas ISD
Dallas
Police.
ISD, yes, sir.
Gotcha. What is your message for folks? Because obviously they're seeing these flames, they're wanting to come to this area. Just what do you want folks to know right now about this situation?
Right now, just let emergency operations take place. Stay away from the area. Pray for anybody that may be involved here. We know for sure families will be displaced. But hopefully once we get things settled down, Dallas Fire Rescue, and I'm sure the city of Dallas will provide some kind of statement or press conference with details.
And you guys are not in school right now, correct?
No, sir. Well, we had students here and faculty. We have sent them home, and we're now opening this as a operational support system for Dallas Fire Rescue, City of Dallas, and of course our families. I'm sure we have students affected of Dallas ISD affected by this.
Gotcha.
So yes, sir.
Thank you so much,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate your time. Okay, you guys just heard that. Let me recap that for you. So he is with Dallas ISD. He says there were actually some students and faculty inside, but they have since been removed. They're safe now. They're using this high school. This is Adamson High School. They're using it as a base for fire operations. I want to pan back over here to the smoke. I mean, these flames are just enormous. Crews are still fighting it. Now, he did say that there are most likely, obviously, families displaced. You can see that by just the amount of flames. I have seen more flames as I pulled off to the side where I was at. We're still waiting to speak with fire officials, but they did tell us, I'll recap this information. An explosion was reported around 12:47 this afternoon. After that, that's when these flames broke out on this apartment complex. Now, the woman that we just spoke with, she says she doesn't live in that unit, but she stays right next door. She wasn't home, but obviously with an explosion, I guarantee you some people just in the surrounding area probably felt and heard that boom. So again, we're still on scene. You just gotta pray for everyone who may have been inside when that happened. We do know from Dallas Fire Rescue that one person was transported to the hospital, but officials did say that number could rise as they are able to clear some of that smoke and get in there and help. So again, we're gonna stay here on scene, work to learn more information, and once I can bring you another update, I'll break in with that news.
For getting that information about Adamson High School being open for Dallas Fire Rescue.
I wonder how many
I want to
units.
call your attention again to the center of your screen there, that white construction truck with the yellow tower there behind it. That's some type
I wonder how many units there are in that apartment.
Talking to someone a moment ago saying they had been doing work there over the past few days. What's striking here is that Dallas Fire Rescue firefighters going piece by piece trying to go through what's left of this building to see if there might be anyone else inside. My colleague Jason Wheeler joining us now here too, but let's get back out first.
They're
to Kevin
literally
Reese
looking
talking to
for
another,
people.
Eyewitness there.
They're rescuing people right now.
Gathered here along East 8th. You can, of course, see the smoke still billowing behind us. Devontae, step in here real quick. You guys were a few blocks away when you heard and felt this. What was it like, even a couple of blocks away? What does it sound like? What did it feel like? How big was it?
It was a very big explosion. It sounded like a bomb went off. You could feel it. She was in the house, rumbled the house. I was in the front yard doing yard work. So you could feel it on the ground and in the house shake. We're like, man, what is that? Sound like a real big explosion, big bomb. We got to looking up into the air, seen the smoke, started running over here to get a better assessment of the situation.
Even a couple blocks away, it was that big, it was that loud.
It was that big and loud.
What do you guys know about this building? It looks like an apartment complex. You seem to be familiar with it. You've seen it before. Tell me what you know about that building.
As far as I know, it's a residential building. Mostly older and middle-aged people live there. Real quiet people, real small building. It's been there for a long time. You never see too much activity there to where you think a foul play took place,
Yeah. And from our helicopter view, we can see a drilling truck over there. That is the assumption so far, but we don't know for sure. But what are you guys talking about? What are you hearing here just a block away from the fire?
Well, beside the explosion, we've been hearing talks of a drilling company over there digging piers and possibly struck a gas line and created the explosion.
Yeah. What's it like to watch this to know that might be the case?
It's heartbreaking. It's tragic. We know that there's people in that building. We know that there's going to be some victims. We could say we hope there wasn't, but we know with a situation like that and an explosion that big, there's going to be some type of victim or casualty at play.
Yeah. We know of one person taken to the hospital so far, but we'll continue to watch. But thank you for this. I appreciate you guys taking the time, all of you. Thank you. Again, I'll get out of the way so you can actually see the firefight here. Again, we are looking to the south across East 8th as they are still trying to get a handle on the fire and the smoke. And as you can also see, there is very little left of this building. Firefighters are still staged around the corner waiting to bring in more crews, but right now fighting it from a distance, being very defensive, just trying to keep it from spreading anywhere else. We'll continue to talk to people, talk to eyewitnesses here, bring you more information as we get it.
Well, they lost that whole building. Hope everyone's okay. They sent one person to the hospital.
Because we glean new information from every person we talk to, of course, and it helps us to get some new answers, but it's almost as though with each person we talk to, we develop more questions than answers as well. You just heard the gentleman who was speaking with Kevin Reese there. He said a couple of things that I think stand out and are threads that we will be pulling in the minutes and possibly hours ahead here as we try to figure out what has happened at this apartment complex there in Oak Cliff. One of the things that man said was that drilling truck, he said something about it doing some piers work, like pushing piers down into the ground there. Of course, that's something that we will still have to verify, but that is certainly an interesting point that has been made here. You see that drill truck sitting right there in front of where that ladder is, just cascading water down on the hot spots of that apartment building. The other thing that man said that at least brings me some concern is that this is a complex that is known for having older people, and you certainly start to think of perhaps if were these retired age people, because that develops some worries as to who might have been home in the middle of the day. Again, we know that one person so far has been transported to the hospital from this scene after this explosion happened there at that apartment complex at about a little after 12:45 this afternoon. We have been showing you these images of firefighters going through that debris there, and it is debris. You can hardly tell that this was once an apartment building there. You do see the facade.
And if the people were older, what if they were taking naps and the smoke got them, or the flames came for them and they can't get away? I'm pretty sure they're looking for remains right now. I hope everyone got out though. I don't want anyone to die.
Two things that I noticed while watching this. First is the firefighter there in the picture who's putting water right below that drill truck there. We saw fire coming out of there earlier. The fire, or maybe the gas beneath it, has since been turned off. We have covered these in the past where there have been natural gas explosions. What we have not seen, though, is a building this size that is lived in, that people actually live in. And because of that, we see more than 100 Dallas firefighters on the scene, a couple of dozen perhaps right there in the middle of it, pulling out piece by piece, trying to look for anyone else that might have been inside there. That's what's striking about this. They pulled away just a few moments ago a sofa. People are coming out, all around here to see what happened. They likely heard what happened. Dallas ISD is telling us that Adamson High School there, which is now being used for Dallas fire rescuers, that the Dallas ISD has now sent home as a precaution the staff who were working there after school got out. Take a look at this right here too, though. There is more construction happening out there. So the woman talking to Richard Solomon a moment ago, she was right. There's construction happening. Yeah. Kevin Reese is talking to some more folks on the scene. Kevin, who do you have?
I have Marcella on the left and Ariana. Did I get that right? And your name I do not know, but these folks live directly across the street. We're facing the fire right now. They live actually in the building next door, right? How close to the building next door that is on fire right now?
It's very close. I have no words. It's really, really close. Maybe about 3 people can fit in between how separated it is.
You were home at the time. Describe it for me. Tell me what you saw and you heard and you felt.
Yeah, I was really just in bed. I had to clock into work at 3 o'clock, so I'm just waiting for time to pass so I can get up, get ready. I'm just literally in the bed, and all of a sudden you just hear a loud boom. That boom happens, and then my windows just They're on the other side of the apartment.
It blew out the windows of your apartment.
It did. It blew out the windows of my apartment.
Oh,
You're in that building
shit.
we were looking at to the east side, to the left of where the fire is right now.
Yeah.
What did you do then? What did it feel like? Did you feel this explosion?
Yes, it was actually crazy. My body is vibrating right now as we speak still, but I was so scared. I literally jumped out of my bed. I really actually just peeped out of the window to see what was going on because it scared me. I started crying and everything. I had to call into work. I called my mom immediately. I was just shaking, like terribly shaking. I was so scared for the people next door. I was scared for us. I didn't know what I was gonna do. It was just terrible, terrible experience.
What do you know about the building next door? Who lives there? What kind of folks? I was told there might be older folks that live there, or how old of the building was it? Because the building that you're describing that you're in is a relatively new looking building.
Right, it is newer. These apartments next door, they are quite older. I'm not sure how old. I'm actually not from here, but there was children that lived there. I always have my windows open, so I hear what goes on every now and then. There's children that live there. I'm so sad because I have not seen any children come out from there. I really hope that they're okay. I'm not sure who lived there, but it was older folks, some kids, parents.
And how did you get away from this?
What do you mean? I ran.
I mean, you ran?
Yeah, I took off, went straight downstairs because I'm on the 4th floor.
Did you see anyone try to get out of the building that we see that's on fire right now, the one where the explosion appears to have happened?
Trying to evacuate. I was hearing everybody scream and all type of stuff. I was very startled, shocked.
You're clearly still shaken up by this.
I am, yes. I'm just trying to be calm and stuff.
Ariana, were you there too? Yeah. Okay, you guys went together? Okay, where were you in this happened?
In my apartment, asleep.
Okay. Describe it for me, what you felt, what you saw. Windows of yours blown out too or not?
Yes, I was asleep and I woke up to the explosion, like the sound of my windows getting busted, and I immediately started shaking because all I heard were people screaming in the other apartment building, and I didn't know how to react, so I just called my mom too, and she told me to get out of the building, and I did, and all I saw was fire, and like about 10 to 15 fire trucks and police cars and ambulances. It was not a sight I wanted to see when I woke up.
You're still shaking a little bit. You guys, are you both okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
What do you know about the folks next door? Anybody you know next door?
I don't know anything. I just moved to my apartment recently, like March, so I don't really know much about the people next door. Haven't really gotten the chance to get to know them either, so.
Well, both of you are sitting here. We're a block away. We're on East 8th right now near the intersection of Denver. You were sitting at somebody else's apartment complex on these steps. What's it like to sit there and watch and not know what's happening at that apartment and at yours?
It's not a good experience. I mean, it's our home. I could be at home right now, chilling, just hanging out, you know? I can't even get my car. I can easily just go somewhere. I can't get my car. I have no choice but to be here, you know? So it's not really, you can't do what you want right now either, so it's not really fun.
Your perspective, your thoughts are with the people that might be in there.
Right, exactly, because that was actually crazy when I looked out the window. Directly after it happened, I looked out the window, there's a whole piece missing. And I start crying. I go downstairs and then it's on fire. So it's just 2 different apartments from whenever I was upstairs to when I got downstairs.
Well, I'll leave you to be. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Fills in some information for us. All right, thank you. Jason, back to you guys, and we'll continue to watch here and talk to witnesses here to talk about anything they saw that can help us piece this entire incident together. Back to you guys.
That does help to fill in some blanks there, Kevin. Thank you. Imagine the fear laying there in bed and your window goes blowing across the room there, right next door to where this apartment had an explosion a little while
That's
ago.
wild. Could you imagine going somewhere and coming back home and the building you live in is pretty much leveled? That's crazy.
So yeah, guys, we're still on scene. Excuse me, sir. We're still on scene here. We're on the other side of where Kevin is at. We're right standing on the sidewalk where Adamson High School is. We've seen them knock a lot of the smoke down over the last couple of minutes, which is a good sign, but still the concern as we get deeper into this investigation is how many people are displaced. God forbid there are any more injuries reported. We do know from Dallas Fire Rescue that 1 person was transported to the hospital. They told us that number could likely rise as they do work through this situation. But I'm standing here over to the side with a gentleman. He lives at this apartment complex behind me. His name is Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, you were home when that explosion happened. Walk me through kind of what you heard, what you felt.
Well, me and my wife was sitting on the porch, we smell gas. And I get up to go in the house to get something, and the whole apartment complex shook. And when I went outside, first I had to comfort my girl because she was shocked, because she was sitting on the front porch when it happened. So I ran down the stairs and I went and looked at the scene. And when I got there, I seen a little girl climbing out the debris. And I told the fire department, trying to get their attention to go get her. So I just went over there and got her and took her back across the street and set her on the ground. And the fire departments came over there and took her aid.
What was going through your mind when you saw that little girl and when you were able to get to her and get her out of that?
Just save her life. Because, you know, that's just something was in my instinct just to save her.
Yeah. Thankful that you did, sir. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. And, you know, that's one good act here. I hope that there are no more injuries reported, but you can see now, you can see a little bit of the damage still. I did peek my head over to the side. There were still some flames that I did see.
Thank goodness this guy was there to help her.
Is now gone.
And that's kind of wild. What if that explosion just sent people flying?
I have been speaking with some officials with Dallas ISD because this is right across the street from a high school. I'm told no students were inside. Some faculty were there cleaning out their stuff before summer vacation. Everybody here is okay. We spoke with the Dallas ISD fire chief on scene. He says they're turning this into kind of like a central base for fire crews as they work. Again, nobody here at the high school was injured, but we are hoping and praying that there are no more injuries reported from this explosion and from this fire. So
Hey,
I believe there will be a media staging setup. Yeah, Jason.
Can you ask the gentleman you were speaking with whether that girl was okay, whether she went to the hospital?
Yeah. Sir, Mr. Brown, that girl that you helped, is she okay? Was she taken to the hospital or?
Yes, they took her to the hospital. I don't know what ambulance, but they did take her to the hospital.
Have you heard anything else about her condition, or how was she when you pulled her out of that debris?
No.
Well, how was she when you pulled her out of the debris?
She was shocked up. She was shocked, and all I heard was she was saying her mom and her brother were still inside.
Have you heard anything about them, or are they still inside? Do you know if they've been?
They still inside.
Okay.
Yes, they still inside.
Richard, does he know about how old she may have been?
No.
Do you know how old the
Well,
girl may have
I
been?
talked to the ambulance and stuff like that, but they told me we're gonna take care of it. That's all they said. We're gonna take care of it.
Do you know how old the girl may have been that you helped?
She was about like her size, about her age.
Probably early teen.
Yes, early teens.
Thank you, sir.
She was probably more like 12 or 13.
Richard, one last question for him there while you have him. Can you ask him how long had they been smelling gas before this went off?
I got one more question for you. How long did you smell gas before the actual explosion happened?
Oh, it was a while before, to be honest with you, they heard the fire truck went over there when the gas was going, and we sitting on the porch, and they said, "You smell that?" But they didn't know what it was. I said, "It smell like gas." And I said, "It is gas." And then the fire truck was already over there, so they was waiting. I guess they were waiting on for the gas people.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got up and went in the house and went to the bedroom, the thing I know, boom, and the whole apartment shook. I ran out. I went over there and looked. It was horrible.
Yeah. Flames is all you saw.
Well, it was flame was in a certain area, but when the little girl came out, it wasn't no flame. And then once it blew up again, and that's when the flame it started spreading, and then that was it.
Yeah. What's going through your mind right now? I know you're kind of just anxious and.
I'm just sorry for the people lost. They're sitting there, and I just pray for them.
Thank you again, sir, for your time. Thank you.
Richard, good work, Richard.
You heard it there. You pray that that girl's family was, thank you, Jason. I mean, you pray that that girl's family was able to get out safely. Again, we are still working to learn just more information about how people are doing in this situation from crews. I know they're going to try to give us an update here soon, but that is what we are worried about out here. I mean, you saw the smoke. People could see the smoke from Dallas North Tollway. The woman who we spoke with a little earlier.
That's wild. They're smelling that gas for a while, he said. And it's crazy. Anything can happen.
Let me see if
district
he
there,
has
yeah.
a quick second.
Go ahead and grab Councilman West.
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm Richard with WFAA.
Hey, I'm not prepared to talk right now.
Gotcha.
I'm just checking in on everything, okay?
Gotcha. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
and I'm going to refer you guys to the DPD or DFR.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Yeah, he's just getting here trying to process everything.
Sure.
Just like a lot of people are here.
Richard, before we let you go, have you seen
obviously
any?
a lot still going on?
Have you seen from where you are any ambulances or anything lined up there? Because we knew that one person had been transported. We just heard from that gentleman you spoke with about the girl that he helped and how she was taken to the hospital. So we can line that up and think, well, there is that one there. Have you seen any ambulances leaving the scene or any waiting to transport in case they find someone?
Well, we haven't seen any leave, but let me see if, John, can you go handheld for a second so we can show them a little bit what's over to our right here? I'm going to step in the street. Now, we are okay. They have this whole area blocked off. But I'm going to just show you just where they're set up at over here. Excuse me while we get situated. All right, so you can see just how many first responders are waiting over here. There are several ambulances sitting here, fire trucks in the back. Dallas police officer. We've seen several Dallas ISD police officers here. We haven't seen any ambulances come through or leave since we've been here. But again, I mean, I know since the smoke has died down, a lot more firefighters have been able to go in. You've been seeing them work on making sure those flames die down for the last 30 minutes or so, ever since we've been out here for the most part. Excuse me. Police officers coming through.
Richard, good work out there. I want to update our viewers. If you're just joining us and you've been watching this for the past 20 or 30 minutes, want to know what's going on here. People are seeing smoke just south of the Dallas skyline for miles in every direction. This is video shot right after the explosion happened at this apartment complex. We understand this is the El Ricardo apartment complex, an older, looks like two-story apartment complex. About 12:45 this afternoon, Dallas Fire Rescue got a 911 call about a natural gas explosion here. That truck in the center of your screen likely going to be the culprit here, at least one of the pieces of evidence that investigators will be looking at. Here's the tragic, here's why we're staying with this and the frightening thing here this afternoon. School is out. Dallas ISD just got out yesterday. We heard Richard talking to people there who say, listen, there are children who live there. In fact, one little girl crawled out of the debris and Dallas Fire Rescue took her to the hospital. The frightening thing is whether anyone else might have been inside this building, this two-story apartment complex, a larger complex, if you know the area. Let's go back to the live picture here.
And Jason,
the
just
fire's out.
On that point that you were making there, you know, the worries about whether there may have been other people at home. We know that there were at least 2 other people home because the girl that man helped said that her brother and her mom were still inside. And again, Richard just put a piece together for us saying that they haven't seen any ambulances leave and that they've got them staged and ready just in case. So
yeah, there are at least 4 ambulances we saw there lined up just in case they find something. But the other drama playing out here is that Dallas fire rescuers are going on foot, pulling debris away, board by board, piece of furniture by piece of furniture. They have chainsaws out there as they're also spraying water on it, trying to find any other victims in here. Richard Solomon is talking to a number of folks out there. Richard, you have someone who lives inside?
Yeah, guys, we're here on the scene. For those of us who are joining in for the first time, we're right across the street, standing on the same sidewalk as the high school over here, W.H. Adamson High School. I'm standing here with a gentleman who lives in the apartment complex that was on fire, Mr. Terrence. Just what's going through your mind right now, sir?
I lost my animals and everything. They probably burnt up.
You had, what kind of pests did you have in there?
I had 2 dogs, 3 cats.
Where were you when this started?
Getting off the bus, coming home, and I seen all the smoke. My wife say that's our apartment complex.
Was your wife, she wasn't home when it happened?
She wasn't home.
Okay. What did you think and see when you got off the
we
bus?
Lost everything. Bunch of smoke, bunch of black smoke.
Now, I've spoken with a couple folks. They don't live in that exact apartment complex, but they live on this one. They say they've seen Atmos crews out here working. Before you left this morning, did you see any crews out here?
Not this morning before I left.
Have you seen it in the last couple of days or so?
Yeah, they've been working over there.
Do you know if anyone else may have been inside the
Probably
apartment?
so. Yeah, probably so. I don't know if they got out or not. But yeah, there probably some more people in there. Yeah.
What do you do next? Have you...
Shit, they gonna have to help us, ain't they? We lost everything, clothes and everything. It's sad.
Well, we know fire crews are here. I'm pretty sure probably the American Red Cross will be here too to help you guys out in this situation. But I thank you for just sharing that with me for a brief moment, sir. Thank you. Sorry for everything that you lost today. Yes, sir. I mean, that's just one testimony that we heard. Just looking in his eyes, he is just not here, understandably so. He said he lost everything. He says he was getting off the bus and then he saw smoke. He said his wife called him and she told him that was their apartment complex on fire. He said he lost several pets inside, everything inside. He hasn't, I don't believe he's been told yet just anything from fire crews. So he, as well as so many other people, are just standing out here waiting just to figure out what those next steps look like or what they could even be at this point. But again, according to Dallas Fire Rescue, they got a report of an explosion around 12:47 this afternoon. We've been out here for the last hour or so. I know crews have been out here probably longer than that, working, battling those flames. If you were around Dallas today, you could honestly see the smoke miles away. We've had even coworkers who are coming into work who say they saw it on Dallas North Tollway. So that just gives you an idea of how serious.
That's so lucky that that guy and his wife were not home at the time. He should count himself lucky. I know he lost everything in his pets, but you gotta remember that you gotta count your blessings that you and your wife made it out alive.
So we're gonna stay out here. We're gonna work to learn more information, and once we can bring you some more information from officials, we'll of course give you that live.
Richard, thank you so much for bringing us that perspective from the man who actually lives there in the complex. In case you're just joining us or you couldn't make it out, he did say, there probably were more people inside when this happened. He had just stepped off the bus when his wife called him and he saw smoke there, rising up out of what was his home. And he fears that his 2 dogs and 3 cats have been lost in that fire. And again, that was just one of the tenants who lived in this building. This was not a tiny apartment building. It was small compared to the newer one that you see there behind it, but it was 2 stories and fairly expansive. And boy, you just don't see much left of that apartment building. I mean, they've been removing it board by board down there. This was a very powerful explosion. And one of the neighbors there said, in fact, that they heard 2 explosions, that there was an initial and then another one went off, and then they said flames just engulfed this whole thing. And we just showed you a few moments ago some images that were taken right after that apartment building burst into flames, and every single unit was on fire.
This is about a mile and a half south of the Dallas skyline in North Oak Cliff. To give you your bearings here, on the map on the left-hand side there, you can see a baseball field, a football field. This is all playing out right next to Adamson High School. Dallas ISD's Adamson High School. School got out yesterday, so no one was there except staff. DISD's already let them go, and DISD's opening the doors there for Dallas Fire Rescue firefighters to come in. We do know more than 100 firefighters on scene after this explosion happened about 12:47 this afternoon. This is the El Ricardo apartment complex. It's a small, older complex built back in 1962. It's a 64-year-old place. Dallas Central Appraisal District says there are 23 units inside there, and this explosion, you can tell from the video on the right there, just decimated the building. Everything, it wasn't blown to pieces, is on fire there. And the concern we have this afternoon with school being out is whether anybody else was inside, especially after hearing just a few moments ago that there was at least one little girl who was taken out and taken to the hospital. Dallas Fire Rescue has 4 to 5 ambulances we saw a moment ago on scene as firefighters are going through the rubble here, piece by piece, pushing away furniture, moving bricks and debris. using chainsaws in certain areas also, trying to find someone. It was tough for them to do while the flames were still going, but now that you see white smoke, the firefighters have been successful putting water on that, extinguishing that, and now comes the tough part, finding out with what's left of this two-story building whether anyone else might have been inside. And Jason, on the back side of this a moment ago when our helicopter was over there, you could tell on the back side of it how the bricks were blown off, just the backside, completely on the opposite side of where this happened.
Even the other building next to it, the windows have been blown out in that one. We just heard from a woman a little while ago who lives right next to it. Let's get back out to Richard right now. He's speaking with another person who lived inside this complex. And Richard, as we begin here, can you ask them, is it typical that a lot of people might have been home at this hour of the day?
Yeah, guys, let me just get straight into it. I'm standing here with Emily. Emily, you said you were actually inside when it happened. First and foremost, are you, your family, are you guys okay right now?
Yeah, we just have a few scratches, but we're fine, you know.
Walk me through what you heard. You told me you were sleeping, but walk me through kind of everything that just happened.
I was sleeping and I was just waking up a few 10 minutes after. I went to the restroom, right? And my sister was on the corner of the bed. She was watching her phone and I was just finishing washing my hands. After that, me and her heard a big commotion, like the apartment was shaking, right? Then I grabbed her, I went in her with the restroom, locked the door, was trying to hold her covered. And like the top floor of the apartment, it like destroyed and shattered into our apartment downstairs. And even the window was like breaking and stuff. So after my sister was screaming and crying, asking for us to leave or to get her phone, I was getting out of the restroom. I was calling my dad, but he wasn't able to because he was scared. So I pulled him and then I grabbed my sister. I went outside and everything was just smoking and everything was just like out of commotion. And it was also destroyed. I saw a few dogs there too that were also trying to find a place to like exit the building. I went outside, I saw a few neighbors also trying to get out into the parking lot. I was trying to cover up her wound. It was also a little bit, not that much, but she was bleeding a bit. But yeah.
Are you doing okay right now? Good. I'm glad you guys made it out safely. Now, there were people inside, more people inside the apartment complex, you think? Or?
I heard screaming and like yelling. And two people were like running out. I heard footsteps too. As I was running out, I saw an old man also running out. His head was like bleeding from the side of his face, like very, very bad. But it is unfortunate on what happened. So.
What's going through your mind right now, given everything that just happened? I mean, you were sleeping when all this happened.
I mean, yeah, I was going through a lot because I was first trying to get out my sister, trying to make us both to get to safety. Then I was calling my mom because she was still at work, you know, so I was like, where am I supposed to go from here? Like, I have nowhere to go. Like, do I just go into the street and wait for her and stuff like that? So that's what I was doing. And whenever the cops weren't letting her go through, you know, because the building is on fire, but she was like determined to go in there, her mother instincts, right? But then when she found us, that's whenever she felt more calm about everything. But it's just a lot to take through right now because a random day, you know, out of everything just happening right now all of a sudden too. So, yeah.
And this is your dog that was inside that you were trying to find?
Yeah.
Are they okay right now? Or?
Yeah, he's fine. He's just a little bit scared, but everything is okay.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that you guys are okay. I'm glad that you're okay, young lady. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Have you guys, I know you said you were injured a little bit. Were you guys able to get checked out at all? Or?
No, we weren't able to.
Thank you guys, and just be safe. I know some emergency crews and some resources will come eventually, and then if I can get that to you, I will for sure. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are okay. But I mean, yeah,
I'm happy they got out okay. I feel so bad. The little girl's crying.
And her dog, and honestly, that is what's most important right now, given this situation. Everything else can be replaced, but this is what matters the most. Now, we're still waiting to learn from officials if there are any more injuries reported. We do know that there was one person taken to the hospital, according to Dallas Fire Rescue. They say that number could likely rise, but we know that they are working through a lot right now. Let me give you a quick look back here. This is where all that smoke was coming from. You can see a better path right now, just where that water is coming through. They are able to get the smoke and really die that down. But I mean, still, so many first responders here. They have so much of this area blocked off, and this isn't ending anytime soon for the most part. So, Jason, we're going to stay out here. I mean, we're seeing a lot more people come. But again, I'm going to try to get these folks some resources and just, you know that they're coming eventually, but I mean, these people lost everything in a matter of moments. So most importantly, they have each other, and that is what matters most right now. So I'm going to send it back to you guys, but we'll stay out here.
Yeah, Richard,
and if we can bring you some more information, we can.
That is what is important. She was able to get her little sister and her dog out safely. This is from the Fair Park camera that you're seeing this right now. Again, as we were reporting, especially when this was fully involved, you could see it from all points around much of DFW. The smoke has considerably begun to clear as firefighters have been able to get a handle on those flames. You see that water still pouring down, though. It is still very much a hot scene there. There was, I think, some encouragement that we took out of that interview that Richard Solomon just had, because not only did this young woman get her little sister out, she got her dog out. She says, I mean, the entire second floor came into their first floor apartment, and as she was scrambling to get out, she saw pets that were making their way out. She saw people leaving, some of them injured, but they were leaving. They were able to get out, and that's critical, Jason, because you start to wonder when you hear these reports of an explosion and followed immediately by a second explosion, and then this whole thing goes up in flames. You wonder, did people have the time, the wherewithal, the routes to be able to exit that building? And I do take some encouragement that she was reporting that she saw other people scrambling and getting out. We can only hope that everybody made it.
It seems like they did have a few moments before the building erupted in flames to actually get outside. I agree with you. That is encouraging right now. She did talk about those harrowing moments, though, with the roof caving in, with the second floor caving into
Can you imagine?
her.
She was
as she's in the bath. Well, she was, ran to the
yeah,
bathroom
right.
for a moment there, and people screaming and yelling. You know, there's two stages to this. The first is getting the fire extinguished, and firefighters have done a good job of that. It appears, and at this point, it's obvious that at least the natural gas has been turned off. The next phase of this is going to be critical, and that is with 23 destroyed units here, firefighters have to go through all of the rubble and make sure everyone is accounted for. Make sure that everyone got out of the building like that woman did just a few moments ago. Dallas Fire Rescue is going to update us in about 10 or 12 minutes from now, the top of the hour at 3 o'clock, just around the corner there. So we're moving some of our crews into position there to get a better idea on what they know at this hour. But again, this has been going on for 2.5 hours or so, and they've been 2 hours now, but they've been trying to at least stabilize the situation, which they have done. And it's not just this building here. There's debris in the streets, people across the street talking about their windows blown out.
You can see it on the roofs of these houses next to it, and that big building, the big apartment building next door that's 4 stories. Every one of those windows is just blown out there.
In fact, we saw Dallas Fire Rescuers inside those those apartments there. You can still see them there.
Yeah.
Inside that window, with hoses trying to attack it from as many angles as possible. This is the El Ricardo apartment complex. It's a smaller complex, an older complex in this area. If you know the area, there's a lot of redevelopment around here. This is very close to the Bishop Arts District in North Oak Cliff, not too far from the Bank of America Tower there in North Oak Cliff. It's really close to the corner of Zane and Davis. At Adamson High School there, but it is tragic to see what happened this afternoon. We can only hope here at this hour, though, that nobody else was inside.
Yeah, the address there, 409 East 9th Street, if you're familiar with that area of Oak Cliff. And as you can see there, that's about the only portion of the facade of the building that is still standing. I mean, this thing just got destroyed by that double blast that we heard described, followed by the fire that engulfed the entire building. We just heard from a man a few moments ago, or a little bit ago, who thinks that he lost 5 pets in this. We just heard also from another woman. Let's listen to what she had to say.
We lived there. We lost our pets. We lost everything we owned.
I'm so sorry. Tell me about your pets.
I had 3 rescue cats, Marley, Koi, and York, and we had 2 dogs.
It's a tragic situation there. Pets are family members here, and we do know at least a handful of pets were still inside, and their owners could not get to them when this fire started, when this explosion happened at 12:47 this afternoon. But this has taken a considerable amount of Dallas Fire Rescue's resources, more than 100 firefighters on scene right now. This is a 3-alarm fire in North Oak Cliff. And judging by this, they're going to be there for quite a while, because it's not just extinguishing the flames, it's going through all of the debris and the rubble of what's left of these 23 apartment units here at this older complex to make sure no one else was inside. And it's a painstaking process, Jason. We've seen this sometimes, but they have to go piece by piece. They had a chainsaw out early on trying to get closer and closer to where this happened. We will see this play out through the night, I'm sure, because it's going to take a while. The building, what's left of it, is unstable, and firefighters have to get in to make sure there's no one else inside.
And of course, they have to make sure, these utility crews are going to have to make sure that everything is okay underground as well. We do know that Atmos is on the scene. Atmos, of course, the natural gas provider. We don't know what caused this fire today. We have seen that drill truck right next to this apartment building, that drill truck itself on fire. And we did hear from one resident just a little bit ago who says that Atmos has been out there doing some work. Again, we don't know that their specific work was tied to this today or what it was that touched this off, but this had a powerful source, obviously, because of what it did to this apartment building here. This wasn't some minor explosion, and it would be consistent with what you might expect if you were to see a large-scale gas explosion there right in the middle of an urban block.
And construction and these drilling trucks, which obviously look suspect in a situation like this at the front of the property. This is not uncommon at all in this area. There's a lot of empty land around it. You can see it right across the street from it. There's an empty lot there. So there's a lot of construction that's happening through this area here. Richard Solomon is now moving to get into position here the next 6 or 7 minutes to hear from Jason Evans and the other firefighters from Dallas Fire Rescue, who've now just had a chance to catch their breath, to figure out what's going on, and to update everyone who's seen the smoke for miles around, people who might be without gas or electric utilities right now who live nearby, and then of course the 23 families that live inside there, not to mention all the families around this decimated building who've seen their windows get blown out, the exterior of their homes perhaps melting because it's that close to the fire. We hope to find out considerably more here in the next 6 to 7 minutes. We're going to bring you that live.
As bad as this is, when you look at that big apartment building right next to it, and then the houses just on the other side of it, and then the school right across the street, we always talk about how it could have been worse, and it certainly could have in this situation. Imagine if that blast had been a little more powerful and had affected those buildings and engulfed them as well this afternoon. So as bad as this is, it definitely could have been a worse situation. We did hear from a man earlier, in case you weren't with us then, who said that he was able to pull a young lady out, maybe early teens. He was able to pull her out because she was making her way out of the rubble right after this happened, and he saw her and just rushed in and went with that instinct to help in any way he could. He was able to turn her over to emergency services, and she was transported to the hospital. He asked her if anyone else was inside. She said her mom and her brother were still inside. We can only hope that they made it out, just as we heard from the young woman who was able to get her little sister and her dog out earlier, describing to us that she saw other people escaping as well.
And State Rep Jessica Gonzalez has just tweeted out for people in the area here, for individuals impacted by the explosion there at 409 East 9th Street in North Oak Cliff. There is a reunification center organized at Adamson High School, which is just right there, catty corner to where this happened. School, of course, got out yesterday, so no one's over there on campus except just staff. DISD let that staff go home early and open the doors to Dallas Fire Rescue. To give you your bearings here, this happened just south of the Dallas skyline, mile and a half south of the skyline, smoke scene in every direction. It's a half block to Adamson High School, and that's where rescuers are asking folks to go to try to get a count to find out who was home, who might be at work, who might be visiting somewhere else, and who might have still been in that building when the explosion happened.
And obviously there's reunification of families that can happen in a place like that as well. When something like this happens, you know, people go scrambling in any direction looking for daylight, trying to get out of a building like this and just survive, and then they get trapped on one side of the building or the other. And so that central spot, Adamson High School, is where they might be able to actually reunite some of these families who don't know what happened to their other relatives, and might be seeing them for the first time there at that high school. So hugely important to have that central meetup spot for people to be able to get back together once again.
Yeah, I hope that everybody got out. And it's heartbreaking. There's over 20 units in this building.
Richard Solomon approached him. He was just getting a first initial briefing about what has happened out there. Obviously, a lot of these people who survived this are going to need some help going forward. You know, you hear from people who say that they lost everything inside there. Yes, they were able to make it out with their lives, but all of their possessions were inside of there. And so often after these horrible tragedies like this, we find that, you know, a fair number of people didn't have renter's insurance, they don't have coverage for anything, and they're essentially homeless and possessionless after something like this. So there'll be a lot of help that's needed for folks. But right now, of course, the priority is to try to reach as many of the survivors, both human and animal, who lived in this apartment complex when this happened earlier today. That's video that was taken right after that apartment building exploded this afternoon.
There's evidence all around. You can tell from the building on the left-hand side, the brown roof over there, evidence everywhere of the explosion that happened. It appears the explosion happened in the front part of this building here with the firefighters on the left-hand side. If you squint over there, you can tell them in this video, but this video from the fire of firefighters moving debris, trying to get closer to the flames and look for folks. As we've mentioned before, though, there is a truck, a construction truck right below that ladder there that is obviously going to be likely at the very center of this investigation. It is a type of a drill truck that has a little boom that goes up in the air, and it drills down to do soil samples, to do other things. And obviously one of the questions to be asked is whether that might have penetrated a natural gas line below the surface to detonate this fire. A lot of construction happening in this area. The Bishop Arts area it's a busy area anytime, but as we approach here, closing in on rush hour, there will be traffic coming through this area here. Firefighters have a lot of streets around it blocked. Adamson High School now open for victims of this fire, for firefighters to take a breather over there as well too. And in the next couple of minutes, Richard Solomon is standing by, and we're waiting to hear from Dallas Fire Rescue itself about what it knows. We can only surmise from what we can tell here, and we can tell a lot from the air from HD Chopper 8 as we've been flying over this for a couple of hours. Firefighters still, though, 2 hours later, dumping a lot of water on what's left here. A lot of white smoke still coming up, and that tells you there's still some fire burning underneath there at the core of this building. But the top story is gone. This is a 2-story apartment complex.
It just pancaked.
It's gone.
Yeah, it pancaked down, and it wasn't just, it doesn't look like one level just pancaked down on the other. It was just torn to shreds. I mean, it's pieces. We saw them pulling those pieces out just a little while ago. It's small pieces of a building that are left down in there where those firefighters are working inside what just looks like a cauldron right now. And you mentioned, Jason, that the Adamson High School has been open for firefighters as well. More than 100 firefighters there on scene, no doubt being rotated in and out because it's 84 degrees as we show it on our screen here right now. Imagine down there in that hot zone and with all of that equipment on and working feverishly trying to save anyone you can. Cole Sullivan is out there as well for us, in addition to Richard and Kevin. Cole, where are you right now, and what can you tell us?
Yeah, we're at 9th and Crawford. This is Adamson High School behind me. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see the kind of angle we're looking at. This is down where the command post for this incident is, right in front of the high school. Again, we should say as often as we can, the last day of school here in DISD was yesterday, so there are not students on campus as far as we know. Just beyond that ladder truck down at the end of the block is where that apartment is. You can see some of the smoke from it there, and I'll tell you, I've been on scene for about an hour now, kind of walking around the perimeter here. This is a huge response from emergency responders. You can see that from the air. We've been talking about it for the last little bit of time. But one of the things that I found most astounding as we were driving here from downtown Dallas is you could actually see some of the kind of ash in the air falling from this fire and suspected explosion here. I spoke with a woman a few minutes ago who was on her way home from work. She lives in that apartment complex where this happened. She is so fearful that her pets who were inside did not make it out of that apartment complex. She talked about how she feels like she lost everything in that home, and I was trying to reassure her, saying, you know, that we don't know yet. They're still keeping us pretty far away. We can't really see. And she said, no, I could see fire coming out of my apartment unit. I know that everything I have is lost. And that just gives you a sense of the human impact of this event on folks. Whatever caused it, the effects will be lasting, not just for today and tomorrow, but for days, weeks, months, years to come as people try to recover from all of this. I've also talked with the city spokesperson who told me about that press conference that we are waiting for any minute now, happening here near the high school, where we're hoping to find out a little bit more information and any more details that we can at this point in time. But the other thing that I think is notable from being here on the ground and making our way around this whole scene is the distance that first responders are keeping folks away from this actual apartment building. They're pushing folks further and further and further back, blocks away in some cases, and that gives you an indication of just how big their response is, and also potentially some indication that if they really do think it was a gas issue, they want to make sure that folks stay as far away as possible from all of that. This huge crowd of folks have gathered at pretty much every intersection that's blocked off. People saying that they came from miles away because they saw this plume of smoke and were driving and wanted to come and see what happened. Others saying, one woman told me that her daughter...
Yeah, they interviewed a few people, and a lot of them were talking about how they lost their pets. They couldn't get them all out in time. What I'm really worried about is that little girl said her family was still in there.
That they're sharing right now, and a lot more to come, I'm sure, as we find out more about exactly what happened here.
Definitely worrisome.
All right, Cole, thanks for that information here. We are now standing by any moment now for Dallas Fire Rescue to give us the first update about what happened here. But as we wait on this, let's take a look at some viewer video that was just sent in from Erica Castaneda. She sent it to us and showed what happened immediately afterwards, and that is the black smoke you can tell that so many people saw for miles around. We have another one as well. This is obviously when the first firefighters are showing up on the scene. But now here we are,
I got a feeling
2 hours and 15 minutes after this happened, and there is still some flames underneath it. Now this is not that old. This is not live right here. This is when firefighters are still trying to put it out. But what's striking about this was a 2-story apartment complex. And in most every angle you look at it now, from our live picture from HD Chopper 8, you can only see 1 story still standing. We've talked to multiple people who've gotten out of there, which is great news. We've also seen...
I think that one chick said that one of the floors of the apartment, like the top floor, was blown off.
Go through each of these 23 apartment units, what's left of them, to see if anyone might still be inside.
You know, it's not often on a typical day that you have a moment to be thankful for the job that firefighters do. But I can just say, after watching those 2 videos that we just showed you, one of them from a viewer right after this started, when firefighters were first arriving there on the scene, what a frightening scene to arrive on when you know that there have been explosions already, and you see that firefighter going straight up with a hose right away, just right up next to it. And then the next one, when we were showing the video from our chopper, when this thing was fully involved, and the firefighter on the ladder truck strikes me, because you lose sight of him after a while, because the smoke is so thick going right over him or her at the end of that ladder truck. This is more video from when this this apartment building just went up in flames. Every piece of this building on fire and every time it takes a wide shot, you can see firefighters pushing those hoses from every direction, including from the building next door, shooting water out the windows of that building to try to reach it. And of course, that ladder truck has been on it all along as well. And as Jason mentioned a moment ago, here we are about 3 hours, 2.5 hours into this, and the water has not stopped.
And they said the whole building was shaking next to it.
Because it's still smoldering so much. And
flat windows.
It makes sense when you think about what we heard from one of the women who was inside this building, that the second level came into her first level apartment, that it actually crashed through the ceiling. And so this thing just, compressed on top of itself. And so now you have underneath there a fire that can still be burning because there's so much material that has been stacked in there. It looks like an empty lot, but in fact there's so much material that has been compacted down in there, and that's why we saw firefighters in sort of that, it looked like a chain gang, just removing piece by piece that they could come across in that smoldering, what I call it, a cauldron there.
And even though the fire is out here, this is going to take well into the night, perhaps into tomorrow, to make sure there are no other victims here. And it's not just this building. You can see, on the side there, a few of the apartments neighboring to this, adjacent to this building, that suffered damage. The damage from this explosion goes all around it. There's debris on the roof of the house, just to the right of it there, behind those trees. So there is going to be damage all around this.
Yeah, at some point we'll see them pulling out portable lights for this. This is, like you said, going to be an all-nighter.
It will go into easily into the night, if not longer, just because of the danger there. First, they have to get rid of all the flames, which they're doing now, trying their best to do from multiple attack angles there. But once that happens, then they have to go in and make sure that, that's the hard part. You have 2 stories of debris here. Imagine going through 2 stories of charred debris, hopefully not finding anything else, anyone else inside there. That's the biggest concern that firefighters have. They were supposed to update us at 3 o'clock. It's obviously an ongoing situation. It's fluid there, so we obviously understand, but we are waiting, like the neighbors around there in the community, waiting to get a better idea of what led to this 3-alarm fire that had 100 Dallas firefighters dispatched to this area in North Oak Cliff. And if you're just now seeing this is very close to the Bishop Arts District, just a few blocks away. Zane and Davis is really the intersection where this is, not too far from the Bank of America Tower and the Dallas Zoo as well.
We don't know who all will be involved in this news conference. Of course, DFR, Dallas Fire Rescue, will be leading this. We do know, though, that there are, no doubt separate investigations underway here, not only by Dallas Fire Rescue, but also by Atmos, the gas provider there, which we have been told is on scene and has been spotted there, just to try to get to the bottom of what happened here. Again, a lot of our focus, if you're joining us late here, has been on a drilling truck that was seen right outside one portion of this collapsed and burned out apartment building. That drilling truck, the flames persisted right next to that drilling truck for quite a while, and it was completely charred as well. And certainly a truck like that, we don't know what work it was doing there. We don't know who the work was for either, but certainly a truck like that is capable of going down into the ground and possibly hitting a gas line.
And there are a number of Dallas Fire Rescue ambulances standing by as well in case any other victims are to be found around there. We know at least one person, despite all this, only one person was transported, which is good news. A neighbor there said that he saw a early teenage girl, 13, 14 maybe, who was pulled out early on when this happened. Of course, Methodist Hospital, the ER there, about a half mile away, maybe less. So it's very close to where this happened, to get her there and to get her help. Just around the corner from this is where Dallas Fire Rescue commanders are supposed to be briefing reporters here in just a moment. And when that happens, we're going to bring it to you live here on WFAA this afternoon.
And again, we only know of one person who was transported today. It could be that in the fog of all of this, there were others who were taken to the hospital. That's part of the information that we're expecting to get from Dallas Fire Rescue here. We were expecting them to begin this, according to their timeline, about 10 minutes ago. These things routinely run late when we're dealing with such a multi-pronged fluid situation like this. Sometimes they have to postpone. We would also expect when we get that briefing to hear whether there is anyone who is reported missing after all of this, because again, they're going to try to account for as many people as they can who lived in that apartment building. And you know, if someone is reporting to them that, you know, my family was still inside, I made it out, as we heard about that young woman earlier, the teenager who said she still had family members inside, there's a good chance that those family members may have made it out if she was able to make it out, and she just might not have seen them, and then she was whisked off to the hospital. So they're trying to put all of those pieces together and connect the dots, not just for the sake of those families to give them peace of mind, but also for the sake of fire rescue out there, which is still feverishly going through this rubble trying to find anyone who might be alive there.
And if you know someone who might live here or might live around it and you can't get in touch with them, it makes sense you don't necessarily leave with everything you have. You just try to get out if something big happens. Dallas Fire Rescue is asking that folks go to Adamson High School, just around the corner there. This is all happening just south of the Dallas skyline, mile and a half. The explosion is right there. The big gray roof you see next to the football field is the high school. Cole Sullivan bringing us live pictures from there just a few moments ago. That's where the reunification center is. That's where Dallas Fire Rescue, the 100 firefighters or so, are swapping out, trying to take breaks and go in there for some relief. We also saw a lot of yellow hard hats. A lot of guys are in the yellow vests on the bottom right of your screen. This was a construction zone around there. You see that small excavator there at the corner. So there was some construction work being done when this happened. They just didn't roll up in the middle of the scene and put this equipment out there. Let's go to Kevin Reese right now as we await Dallas Fire Rescue. And Kevin, while we're waiting on them, you've been talking to a number of folks. What are they telling you now?
Yeah, well, we've been on quite a march in and around this complex, put in a couple miles already, but right now here in the shade, these are all residents of that apartment complex. Tell me your name again.
Casey.
Casey, and tell me again.
Alta.
Alta, and
Emily.
Emily, you were in the apartment at the time when this happened. Tell me where you were, what you saw, what you felt.
I was just waking up from my bed. I was going to the restroom. My sister was on the corner of the bed watching her phone. I was washing my hands, and as soon as I finished, I start hearing like the apartment was like already shaking. So I was getting to grab my sister to move her to the restroom, but everything from like the top of the floor, like of the apartment, everything like went striking down to mine, destroying the top roof. Even the window had broken. And then after that, I was hiding with my sister in the restroom in case anything else was gonna like tremble down. Whenever I hear screaming and people running outside the building, I get her, I grab my dog because she's shaking too. I grab them and I exit the building to the parking lot, and I see other people also like exiting. Some are bleeding from the face. It's very tragic.
Do you know anything of folks, hang in there, do you know anything of folks that did or did not get out? You saw some of your neighbors who were able to get out.
I saw some of them that were able to, like around 7 to 8 people maybe able to get out.
The area where this was collapsing around you, this was above you where it came down? Were there apartments above you or below?
There were apartments above me and around me as well, but it felt like the commotion was everywhere because the whole apartment was shaking. But the explosion felt like it came from like coming upstairs or somewhere around there. And as soon as I exit, I just see smoke coming out of like the main, like the whole apartment, and I just smell smoke. And I'm trying to call my mom because she was also at work, so I was only alone with my sister and my dog in the apartment.
Do you know if everyone got out safely like you did?
I don't really know, but I've heard some people got rushed to the hospital very badly. Some couldn't have made it because people sometimes like work late, and I'm sure like they're very exhausted and they would have like woken up more later. So I'm not really sure if people had even made it.
How fortunate do you feel like that we're sitting here talking now that you did make it out?
Excuse me?
How fortunate do you feel that you did make it out? I know this is horrible. You're all looking, the 3 or 4 of you right here. You don't believe anything is left of your apartment, but how fortunate do you feel that you did make it out?
I mean, I feel very blessed that me and my sister were able to make it out, because if you think about it, if I were to sleep any more seconds, like now waking up, like on the minutes that I had left to have, like, make sure my sister got into safety, at least to the restroom, to avoid any other things, I would have been already, I don't know, with serious injuries, because like the main woods, like from the apartment, they landed where I was sleeping, like sharp things.
Okay. Well, we'll wait here until we can find out where we can get you guys some help. But we will be here talking with these residents of this apartment complex as we continue to try to find out what did indeed happen. Back to you guys.
We appreciate that. Let's now go to Dallas Fire Rescue, about to update the community with what happened. Richard Solomon moved to this different location, DFR and Police Department, Dallas ISD very likely as well, and a number of other people, including District 1 Councilman Chad West, who represents this area, the Bishop Arts District area, near...
Barely come. We're about to get an explanation about what happened, what's going on.
About to give us our first update about what happened that led to this 3-alarm fire, this explosion, at least one person transported, a number of city officials there gathering what they can, Jason, as we wait to learn more. In the yellow there is the city manager, Kim Tolbert, the police chief, Daniel Como, in the uniform.
I hope nobody died. I really do.
Councilman Chad West is behind the mayor. The mayor's in the hat, and the councilman's wearing the sunglasses that Richard reached out to a little earlier. But they're getting their last few things put together here. Dallas Fire Rescue likely going to lead this, since it's the main agency out here. But no doubt Atmos Energy, a number of the other utilities, and everyone else likely involved in this.
And hopefully they can shed some light on, how many people may still be missing, how many have been transported, and what the scene is like there, and maybe at least an idea of what may have happened out there. This news conference was supposed to happen about 17 minutes ago, but they've been getting all their ducks in a row here, and let's go ahead and take a listen in as they step up to the microphone here this afternoon.
That's Dallas City Manager Kim Tolbert there in the yellow. She's leading it looks like. We'll listen in to her.
Good afternoon. We are deeply saddened by the tragic events here in Oak Cliff this afternoon. Dallas Fire Rescue responded quickly to the scene to contain the fire. Our Dallas Police Department is here as well to provide support here on the ground. I want to give a special thank you to our Chief of Public Safety, Dominique Artis, to the Chief of Police, Daniel Como, who are both here with us, as well as to all the first responders who are here on the site to provide support to this community. A family reunification center has been set up at W.H. Adamson High School. Our prayers are with the many families who are affected by this event. Our prayers are also with the entire Dallas community during this time. We will continue to provide you with updates as more information becomes available. Now at this time, I'd like to turn it over to our Mayor Eric Johnson, for some remarks.
Thanks, Kim. I want to encourage our entire city, this entire state, the entire nation to come together and pray for all the people, all the families who are affected by this tragedy we are experiencing here today in our city. We ask everyone to please pray for our Dallas Fire Rescue personnel who are still fighting this fire. They do an amazing job under very, very difficult circumstances like this, and we just pray that they will be safe while they try to save and help every single person that they can affected by this. I'm joined here today by the councilmember for this district, Chad West, and Councilmember Maxie Johnson. I just want to say that we are going to do every single thing we have to do and that we need to do to make sure that every affected family by this tragedy gets what they need. So you have my commitment that we will do whatever we have to do to make sure that these folks are okay. But the most important thing right now is that we come together as a community and that we pray for everyone's well-being. at this point, I want to turn it over to our Dallas Fire Rescue Chief, Chief Russ, to address any other issues. But I just want to say that today's tragedy, first day of summer after DISD just let out yesterday, we need to pray for these folks who are affected by this and for our entire city. So with that, Chief Russ.
Yes, I'm Assistant Chief James Russ with Dallas Fire Rescue. At 12:47, our dispatch center received a gas leak call at the 400 block of East 9th Street. Crews quickly arrived at 12:49, a 2-minute response, and quickly upgraded to a second alarm fire. Shortly after, it continued to escalate and upgrade. At this time, we are at a 5-alarm fire. The fire is contained, but our members are still working on the scene to do primary searches. We put a drone in the air to canvass the area to see if we have any, if we see any victims or anything around. Once we get more information, we'll let you know. But at this time, there's unknown how many possible fatalities we may have. And also we have 4 people transported to the hospital in unknown conditions at this time. Thank you.
Can you confirm if there are any deaths or not?
Can you talk about the cause of the gas leak?
Did anyone die from this situation?
We will be providing you with another update as soon as additional information comes available. At this time, we are not taking any questions. Thank you all so very much.
Was the city involved with some construction prior to the gas leak?
Okay, so
Thank you.
not,
Like I mentioned before, we'll have
not a
updates
lot
when they're
of answers
available.
there,
Thank
but
you.
some answers. At least we got some of the big questions answered from the assistant chief there, who told us at this point they know that 4 people were transported to the hospital. We knew of one of those, but so often in the fog of all of this, there might be an ambulance from the other side that takes off. There might be people who go in private vehicles. So 4 people transported to the hospital in unknown condition, he says at this point. They do not know how many fatalities they could have here. I thought it was interesting that he said that they're doing the primary search now, that they've gotten those flames out, and that they've got a drone hovering above, seeing if it can identify potentially any bodies down there in that smoldering rubble.
It's clear this is going to be going for hours and hours. This primary search is likely going to go into tomorrow, just because you have a 2-story building here that collapsed in on itself, 23 apartment units here. This has significantly escalated, and it's tough because we've been keeping an eye right there on the scene itself, but it has significantly escalated from a 3-alarm fire with 100 firefighters to now a 5-alarm fire, what do the alarms mean? This is a much bigger response is what that means. Dallas Fire Rescue starts moving resources from different parts of town to get them over there. There is a fire station right around, I know where this is now, the fire station. Right around the corner from where this happened. That's why they got there within 2 minutes, just south of the skyline.
Response,
yeah, in North Oak Cliff here. But surprising, we didn't get any more information about whether there might be any fatalities, a word they used, not a word that we're using here. We also didn't get any more indication about what might have led to this. Now, if there's construction going on, the city is going to know about that. We had the city manager.
They're still too fresh to know anything. I mean, we see them going in there and looking for bodies as we speak. It's just they don't have any information right now. But I do think, sadly, that there was some fatalities. That little girl said that her folks were in there. She had family members in there. I feel so bad, and a lot of people lost their pets. And we gotta keep in mind that there's over 20 units in this building. We did hear earlier about a man and his wife were both not at home at the time whenever the explosion happened. And I'm happy they got out alive. But I have a feeling that there's some fatalities here. It's so sad.
whether there might be any more victims in that rubble.
And not only that, but there's a radius around this. As you see, this is a very populated area, and people who live nearby would like to know as well what might have been the cause of that for their own peace of mind. And obviously you won't get an official cause on something like this quickly, but we do look for potentially answers to say, hey, right now we're looking at everything, but certainly this and this are things that we are looking very closely at. I did hear one of the reporters asking those city officials as they were walking away, did the city know of any construction out here or have any construction out here at the time of this, and they did not answer those questions. But we do know that we've seen that construction equipment ourselves, including right there in the thick of the fire. We also know, and this is why it's critical to speak to so many of these eyewitnesses who told us how the blast unfolded, and then there was the one man who was speaking with Richard Solomon earlier who says the smell of gas was very much in the air for a while before this thing actually exploded. And so you can start to put the pieces together from something like that. If you've ever smelled natural gas, especially in a strong concentration outside like that, you know that that's a very dangerous situation. And of course, this underscores anytime you smell something like that, call the authorities immediately.
Absolutely. And you see the comment from the Dallas Fire Rescue, I believe it was Assistant Chief Russ up there a moment ago.
This is true. That's why that smell is added to the gas. That's so people don't know. And you gotta let the authorities know to avoid these kind of things. It must have been a very big leak for them to smell it outside.
Complex. It's called the El Ricardo apartment complex. Maybe 100 feet away from Adamson High School, very close there in North Oak Cliff, not far from Bishop Arts, not far from the Bank of America Tower and the Dallas Zoo. So this is a very residential area. There's a lot of redevelopment in the area here, so it's not unusual to see construction around here. But folks are looking for some type of early answers from this. They're not going to have the cause of this. But there's a lot of anxiety. People lost their livelihoods here in what happened. Cole Sullivan is on the scene, has been for us all afternoon. Cole, where are you now?
Jason, we're here outside the Family Reunification Center at Adamson High School. You talk about just how close that is to where this happened. You can see down again this direction, some officials leaving here in the scene and still smoke in the air. You talked about how kids are out of school as of today. I just spoke with a 17-year-old who lives in the apartment building next to this one that is on fire and had all of this attention. He says it felt like an earthquake. He was sitting in his living room playing his PS5 when this happened, and he said the whole building shook. He says that he then tried to run out. The only thought he had in his head is he didn't want there to be another explosion. It was just him and his 11-year-old brother at home at the time, and they were concerned that there could be another explosion. He also described the fire. He said it was a big fire at first, and then it went down some, and then it came back up again. That's something that investigators...
Yeah, he was just in there playing video games, and
boom. His brother got out of their building okay, as you're looking at city officials, including the mayor, on their way into Adamson High School, where some families we know have gathered as a result of this. We can see the police chief and Chief of Public Safety, Dominique Gardis, making their way this direction as well. That 17-year-old told me that he was concerned about people who lived in the apartment complex where this happened, because he says that he saw some trying to get out, and he was hopeful that everyone could get out, but he was not sure that everyone did. And looking at the images of the aftermath, that's a fear that many of us share at this point from that apartment complex and that apartment building. Even folks who don't live in that apartment complex are being affected by this. He ran out in shorts with a towel around his shoulder, shirtless, to get out of there, to get to safety as fast as he can. His parents, his mom was down the block, was able to come and meet him, so they're safely together, but there's no way for them to get home at this point. This whole area...
Something like this can scar you for life. I mean, you'll never feel safe around propane or anything like that ever again. That was a huge explosion. That building has over 20 units in it. Gone.
This happened earlier this afternoon, and who are trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what they do next. Back to you.
Cole, thank you for that update. Really appreciate it, and for bringing us the pictures there of all of those city leaders going into that reunification center set up there at the Adamson High School. We have learned here in the last few minutes that, you know, these buildings go through iterations over the years. As you mentioned, Jason, this is a hot area going through a lot of different changes. This building was known as the Clyde Apartments. The name had changed over the years, so it was known as the Clyde Apartments. Again, it's there at East 9th and North Patton Avenue. That's real near Davis and Zhang, if you're familiar with the Oak Cliff area. But the Clyde Apartments, as you see there, not much left of what had been a 23-unit, two-story apartment building after that explosion happened this afternoon, after neighbors say that they smelled a strong smell of gas in the air, and they actually, one of them said they actually thought that there were two separate explosions, one right after the other, and then the whole thing burst into flames. A minute ago, Jason, they showed a picture here as we swept around the front part, I guess, of this apartment complex. Maybe that's the back part there. And it almost looked like you could make out a roof that is sitting there. Now that that smoke has sort of cleared out, it was what looked like a roof that is sitting there. And I'm not sure if, you know, I'm correct about that or not, but if you look right past that facade there, but it's very clear here. This thing, I mean, it looks like it's just at ground level, that building, and it looks like it has just flattened down there. And, you know, that's why it's so critical that they say they've pulled the drones out to see if they can find any, you know, remains there, because they're worried about that. And we again heard from the assistant fire chief a little while ago, Russ, saying that there are unknown number of fatalities. So that doesn't confirm that there are fatalities, but it certainly opens the door to, you know, what we had all feared is the same thing that first responders are fearing, that, you know, you see a situation this grave, and that is certainly a very real possibility.
And to zoom out here, this is not just at this scene. There is debris all over the street, all over the sidewalk. There are other apartments around there, other homes that also have had their windows.
Yeah, I got a bad feeling that there's fatalities for sure. Man, at first I thought it was possible that there were none, when I thought there was like only 8 units or something in there. But when they said there's like 20-something units, there's gotta be somebody that was in there. If not, it was a miracle.
Complex that has really collapsed down on itself. 23 units here. We don't know whether all 23 units were indeed occupied, but summer has just started. Dallas ISD just got out yesterday. We do know there were children home. At least 4 people have been transported from here. Dallas Fire Rescue says that there are an unknown number of fatalities. Now let's just hope that there are no fatalities at all here, but this is certainly something they're bracing for. It's turned into a 5-alarm response. The heat is one thing. It's raised up to, what, 88 degrees here. It's gotten a little warmer outside. Yeah. But just the magnitude of what they're dealing with here, this gas explosion that led to this fire and this building collapse, is why there are so many firefighters and resources here.
Yeah, you know, you really start to look at something like this and wonder too. We know that there was a teenage girl who was able to make it out. She was, you know, getting out of the rubble there when a neighbor saw her and went in, and you know, that gut reaction took over. He went in and helped her and pulled her out there. She said she had family members who were still inside, as far as she knew. And you do start to wonder about each individual who lived in that building, and, you know, what was their situation? Were they in a corner of the building where they were trapped by fire and not able to get out? Were they able to, you know, go out a window perhaps? Did you have people in there who had mobility issues? Did you have, you know, younger kids who might have been home alone now that school is out? We know that children live there. We have neighbors who've been telling us that, and they're really worried about those children. So you start.
That's true. Everybody has a different perspective of what's going on. Different spots of the building they were in, things they were doing. Were they on the toilet? Were they on, you know, their bed sleeping? What's going on? There's so much that could have happened. There are babies in there. Like you said, were there disabled people in there, older people. People who can't move and get out. They could have been trapped.
Severe weather especially. go into the bathroom and hunker down. She says she went into the bathroom on the first floor of what's left of this building. Then the top floor, the second floor, caved in on top of them. That's when she knew she had to get out there with her dog, with her daughter, and get to safety. What if you're a little farther on the inside of this and could not get out? Hopefully people were able to access windows. Hopefully it wasn't occupied, but this is certainly a big concern for city officials, for Dallas Fire Rescue, firefighters, for commanders. Just praying that nobody else is inside what's left of this building. And the debris is thrown across the street. The debris is all over the sidewalk in every direction here. So, you know, you don't want to think the worst, but it could be anywhere. You know, if somebody was involved in this, they could have been injured and really kind of thrown anywhere.
Yeah, we can only hope that a lot of people made it out and they just haven't reunited with their family members. But we know from situations like this before, firefighters are well versed, first responders are well versed in trying to put the pieces together after something like this, so that they can let their people who are actually working in that pit there that used to be an apartment building, so that they can let them know some particulars and help them perhaps as they move through the remnants of that building. You have to wonder at that reunification center what officials have been able to glean. Are they, we didn't hear from them about the prospect of missing people at this point. It's probably not something that they would release at this point because, again, it's too early. There's too many fluid things. Maybe somebody drove to the hospital. So we don't know that yet, but just the fact that they bring up the specter of an unknown number of fatalities, they do this on a day in, day out basis. They go up to a scene like this and they see real possibility for loss of life when they look at something like this. We can only take some hope, though, as I said earlier when we were hearing from one young woman there, that she was getting out, she was seeing others getting out, maybe 7 or 8 people, she said, who were all getting out to safety. And so we can only hope that everyone scrambled and was able to make it out of there and went their own directions, and it's just a matter of getting them back with their loved ones again and getting everybody accounted for. But this is a very grim situation when you look at what happened to this building, though.
4 people transported to the hospital. Of course, Methodist is about a half mile from here, very close. That's likely the first place that DFR would have gone, and likely the first place anyone living around there would have gone to. But, these injuries might not just be from that building there. There was debris thrown in every direction, windows broken in every direction from the force of this natural gas explosion today. So some of the injuries could be at some of the neighboring properties there. A lot of debris. You can tell on the left side of your screen there, a lot of those fences destroyed from when the explosion happened.
Yeah, one woman who was in that building, in fact, said her window went all the way across her room. So yeah, you could certainly have people in some of these buildings to the right and the left of this, what was this apartment building here, and they could have been injured just as much as anyone who it may have been walking out on the street or even in that apartment building when this happened.
Or even driving by, with debris going in every direction. On the right side of the scene.
Okay. You heard it here. There were still 23 units. There are no confirmed fatalities at the moment, but they're still searching. We do know that a lot of pets have died in this fire and explosion. But they're going to be releasing more information as they get it, and it could take quite a while. I think everybody should pray for these guys, for everyone, and over these pets, and all the families affected. Got 4 people in the hospital, and more information will come out soon. So check out your YouTubes and your news if you're interested in following the story. I'm gonna go ahead and close the stream here. I want to thank everybody for coming. Anybody in the future that's watching this, appreciate you for watching it. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next stream. Take it easy.